What's going on, everybody? This is dkdynamite, and tonight we're going to be talking about the first major update for Season 4, brand new changes in multiplayer Warzone zombies, and a surprise discovery. Definitely stay tuned. Now in the background, we got some gameplay of Fugitive, one of the brand new 6v6 maps here in our 4th season. I feel like the map is just a little too big. I would love to see some ground war or 10v10 support on this map in the next couple of weeks. Feels like there's just one too many lanes or just a whole area of the map that shouldn't be there, but I think Overdrive really helped out with the pacing, as you will see in the background. Also want to thank every single one of you for hanging out during the Summer Games Fest watch party that I did a couple of hours ago. It was a ton of fun reacting to all brand new games, as I usually do every single year whenever there's a major gaming event or something. Sadly, COD didn't make an appearance, and I don't think it'll be featured in the Xbox Showcase this weekend, but never say never. We're going to be going live just in case. Also, take note of this, right? Shots have been fired following the announcement of Splitgate 2's Battle Royale.
With the help from our amazing community, we've built Splitgate 2. Why? Because I grew up playing Halo, and I'm tired of playing the same Call of Duty every year, and I wish we could have Titanfall 3.
So I guess we'll see if the Splitgate sequel ends up living up to the hype and could be a true competitor for the COD franchise. Let me know how you feel down below in the comments. I know every time a game comes out and throws shade at COD or Apex or Fortnite, the game usually doesn't end up working out in the long run, but wishing all the best to all the devs that worked on the brand new Splitgate experience. Also didn't expect to see a Resident Evil 9 announcement to close out Summer Games Fest this year. I thought it was crazy. We all thought that we got blueballed halfway through Summer Games Fest with that very short clip from Capcom, but nope, they ended up announcing the game, and it comes out in February of 2026. Funny enough, a couple of weeks ago, I just made a video talking about the brand new exciting rumors that apparently Call of Duty could be crossing over with Resident Evil, whether it's on mobile or whether it's in the main series through The Haunting. If you want to check that out, I'll leave that video linked below. Worst case scenario, though, maybe we end up getting a Resident Evil collab in February, so maybe Season 2 of BO7. That's just a theory as of now. But jumping into some brand new changes with our 4th season, first off, you guys may have noticed that the Woods number skin from the Vault Edition has been broken for the last couple of days. I think ever since the launch of Season 4, actually, the skin was just glowing super bright. It was all red. It actually looked pretty damn sweet to run up against, but clearly that isn't the skin that people actually paid for, so the entire skin has been removed until it ends up getting fixed. It also looks like one of the ghost operators from Modern Warfare is broken in a similar way, where it's just super bright and obnoxious. I'm assuming they'll probably get rid of that skin relatively soon as well, but that's of course only a skin you can use in Warzone, not BO6. Now, real quick, I wanted to let you guys know about 2 new product launches. SteelSeries just came out with the Arctis Nova 3P wireless headset that offers easy USB plug-and-play and supports cross-platform gaming. The headset also features a detachable mic, extra comfort, fast charging, and over 100 audio presets, which you can customize on the SteelSeries app. The Arctis headset is optimized for Call of Duty, Fortnite, and other popular titles. Control Freak also just launched the no-slip thumbsticks, available with a new color line that doesn't tear when stretched. These universally fit PlayStation, Xbox, and Switch Pro controllers. The no-slip thumbsticks can also replace worn-out thumbstick tops on your controller, eliminating the need to buy a new remote. But as a reminder, code Dynamite can be used to save you plenty of money off your order on Control Freak or SteelSeries, with the link down below in this video's description. But thank you to SteelSeries and Control Freak for sponsoring today's video. Apart from that, some other patch notes do include, as far as BO6 generally, damage to the rapid fire mod attachment has been properly adjusted to match the damage of the AK-74, and FFAR weapon blueprints have now the appropriate number of attachments, whereas underbarrel launchers can now be properly equipped on the Combo Bash FFAR blueprint. As far as UI goes, it looks like you can properly preview Rose, Mace, and Hudson in the operator select screen, and they've also closed an exploit that allowed players to equip weapon camos that were not unlocked. They've also addressed the problem where Mastercraft icons were not being displayed for the LC10 Storm Rage blueprint over in the customization menu. So those are a few updates to say the least. I do want to address the Monolithic Suppressor real quick. This is a bonus attachment that got released back in Season 3 and is of course a returning attachment for Modern Warfare 19. It perfectly fit the re-release of Verdansk a couple of months ago, but the thing is, you weren't able to equip this on the new DLC weapons in Season 4, the FFAR, the LC10, and now the Essex. I know COD Updates did report on Twitter that they're investigating this problem, but let me know in the comments, are you guys still experiencing issues with certain attachments being locked or certain items not appearing in the armory when they should in the case you missed an event? Really curious what other bugs you guys are experiencing so I can pass them up along to the right people in case you guys haven't seen those issues on the Trello board. But I also want to address real quick the Ballerina Challenge event. It looks like the event itself did get extended. It was only supposed to last a week according to the blog post, but now ends not this upcoming week, but the following. So it's a 2-week-long event, and the Rivals event, I suppose, just going to go live at the same time that Ballerina is still up. Rivals is supposed to start later this week, unless that got delayed. And speaking of the Ballerina event, you guys are seeing coins being picked up in the background a little bit. I just have to say, right, after doing a lot of extensive testing and also asking some of my colleagues over at Detonated what was going on, none of us had any luck getting these coins in zombies, but I was flooded with comments in my recent short talking about this event, and everybody was saying they were getting tons of coins in high rounds or in grief. That just wasn't my experience. I played for almost half an hour, starting on round 40 for my save file, and played a bit of grief, but just wasn't seeing too many coins. I was getting them much faster in stakeouts or matches of plunder. But I get it, if you guys are having better experiences in zombies, then feel free to play that to get the event done faster. Either way, no real rush since the event has been apparently extended. Now, what are the odds that just yesterday I spent almost 5 hours putting together a giant Warzone Super Easter egg video because a new laptop has appeared in every police station around Verdansk, and on the laptop you'll see a list of every single quest that you can do in Warzone currently. They're obviously all throwbacks to original Easter egg quests that we saw in Warzone 1, but you can check off all the boxes, and it looked like the Storage Town one wasn't checking for people, but apparently that's because people weren't disarming the traps and properly entering the room, opening the chest, and then clicking on the note. So that should be tracking for people now. I saw a lot of comments clarifying that, and for some reason it looks like until you do a lot of these quests, the names of the quests themselves look differently on the computer compared to when you actually complete them. So for example, under X, it'll actually be bunkers 1 through 11, but for people that haven't opened any of those bunkers, it'll give them catchphrases kind of hinting at what those bunkers are supposed to represent. So if you guys are confused on how to do some of those Easter eggs, I'm going to leave my previous video linked down below. It goes through every single quest you can currently complete in Verdansk in depth, all locations, all steps, everything you need to know. But when I made that video, originally Bunker 0 hadn't been opened yet. It was the last missing piece of this puzzle to figure out what a potential super Easter egg reward can be, and that peculiar symbol really had us thinking, right? Is there a connection to Rebirth where that same symbol pops up? Is that something related to a bundle coming out soon? Like, what's going on with that symbol? Well, it looks like the code ended up being binary for 0, and once you input that into the keypad, it opens up the bunker. So no Easter egg quest was needed to open this one up, and sadly nothing interesting is inside. Not connected to BO7, not teasing anything crazy, but there are some inactive computer screens in one of the rooms here, so maybe those screens will turn on closer to a potential reveal of COD 2025 or something else that we don't know about this summer. We'll just have to wait and see. But upon going back to that computer and having 30 out of 30 quests completed on Verdansk, sadly all you get is 10,000 XP and a quote from Captain Price indicating that you know your way around Verdansk. Now, this will be more of a podcast topic, but it's an understatement when I say that this is severely underwhelming to just get XP for doing over 30 quests in Verdansk, some of which are pretty tedious to actually accomplish. I was hoping for a blueprint or a camo, even a calling card for Christ's sake, but hopefully some better rewards do get added in the next season or two. Not sure what's been going on or what the big disconnect is all about with live event rewards in Black Ops 6 this year, but apart from that, we also got a major update for Grief. So as of earlier today, while I was live streaming a countdown of Summer Games Fest, it looked like a message of the day did confirm new changes to Grief, such as a nerf to the field upgrades while playing, and a nerf to the stun that you can do when meleeing other players in this game mode. Now, Treyarch provided a pretty big statement about the changes they're currently working on, but as far as changes that are live today and right now this second, they mentioned they significantly reduced the flinch effect when hit by enemy player melee attacks, and repeated melee attacks from the same weapon will no longer apply a new stun and slow until previous stun and slow are over. Ether Shroud and Healing Aura field upgrades now take longer to charge only in Grief, 240 kills for Aura and 180 kills for Shroud. That's a pretty big change, and I think the goal, as they mentioned here, is to make sure matches don't last too long. Their goals are matches to last around 30 minutes, which I think is fair if everybody in the lobby is actually trying. And yeah, I'd probably prefer if that were the case too, so that people out there that want to go for the Dark Ops requiring 115 wins can actually do this a lot more efficiently. But as they also wrote, address a problem where players could occasionally lose the ability to use their weapons after Weapon Roulette. Weapon Roulette now grants players appropriate weapons. Not really sure what that means, but I'm assuming better weapons that are viable on higher rounds. And for anybody hacking in Wonder Weapons while playing Grief, they've fixed an issue where Wonder Weapons were somehow being brought into matches. They've also reduced the number of map icons outside of the Grief arena. But they promise that they're working on moving quickly to make the mode even better and have identified several changes for today and upcoming updates based on player data. So as far as what they're working on, here's what they said. They're planning on reducing the amount of salvage in play to prevent support stacking, as well as ways to prevent gobblegum spam and further limit the number of craftable self-revives. So what they're probably going to do, if I had to take a guess, is say, okay, you're going to be limited on salvage, which means you can't buy that many chopper gunners. They may go back to the old gobblegum system where you can only spin once every 5 minutes. They'll keep round base the same, obviously, and then they'll maybe say, hey, you can only craft 1 extra self-revive or something. But they also want to make griefs feel more impactful. They're working on the best ways to increase their griefness, as they wrote, so that weapon carousel isn't the only one that we're afraid of, and to incentivize more players to capture those zones. So that probably means making Frozen a bit of a tougher nerf on players' movement, probably making sure that the weapon nerf itself, that grief, also impacts the weapon even more severely. And I'm sure they'll try to aim to introduce new griefs in the future, more restrictions people are asking for, and we'll have to see if any other grief LTMs get introduced as a surprise this season, or will they be in season 5 and 6, where you could potentially see boss fight arenas, or wonder weapons, or other great features that can make grief even more replayable, let alone the idea of potentially getting rewards for getting wins. Apart from that one Dark Ops, imagine being able to earn universal Pack-a-Punch camos, or simple blueprints, operator outfits, something for putting in that time, since there isn't a main quest and a new round-based map this season. But that is about it. This has been dkdynamite. Leave our thoughts down below in the comment section. That's our first major update for Season 4. Obviously, we're not too far away from the mid-season update. I'm sure marketing will end up ramping up for that in the next week and a half, maybe a little bit longer. We'll be recapping everything there is to know about any future Season 4 changes. And of course, we'll be talking a lot more about COD 2025 as new rumors do find their way in the community. But with that being said, really hope you've enjoyed, and peace out, everybody.